April 4th's episode of Friday Night SmackDown was supposed to be just another step on the road to WrestleMania 41, but what was advertised as a fiery face-to-face confrontation between Charlotte Flair and WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton quickly turned into one of the most chaotic and talked-about segments of the year. What was meant to hype their high-stakes championship bout unraveled into an off-script, personal, and messy exchange that left WWE management frustrated and the internet buzzing. According to reports from Fightful Select and other credible sources, the segment veered sharply off the originally scripted path. What unfolded live on television was, by most accounts, not at all what was on the rundown that day. Flair and Stratton, who were supposed to sell their WrestleMania rivalry, instead clashed in a way that many describe as too personal and too uncomfortable. The live crowd seemed confused, and viewers at home were left wondering what exactly they had just witnessed. Insiders claim the promo was heavily edited in replays and on digital platforms, a clear sign that WWE wanted to distance itself from what took place. The backstage atmosphere was reportedly tense after the segment. No one person was blamed, but both Charlotte and Tiffany were under scrutiny from management. One source said that higher-ups were simply watching to see how the situation played out rather than stepping in to stop it live. But once the segment was over, both women were said to be in the doghouse. The promo got personal fast. Charlotte made several references to Tiffany's inexperience and even mocked the points where Stratton stumbled over her lines, which seemed to throw Stratton off even more. But it didn't stop there. Stratton fired back with some sharp words of her own, and the conversation took an unexpected turn when personal matters were dragged into the spotlight, most notably Charlotte Flair's recent divorce from fellow WWE star Andrade. That moment is where many believe the promo crossed the line. Fans on social media immediately began dissecting what they had seen, wondering what was scripted and what wasn't. It's become clear that while tensions were high between the characters, the real tension between the performers might have bled through into their performances. Neither wrestler came out of this looking particularly good in the eyes of management, but for viewers, it made for undeniably compelling television, albeit in a train wreck sort of way. John Alba chimed in on social media, confirming that the situation backstage was contentious and that while higher-ups were keeping a close eye on it, the feeling was one of disappointment rather than immediate disciplinary action. The company's top brass were not pleased, but they didn't single out one woman over the other. Instead, the blame and the fallout is being shared. The big question now is, what happens next? WrestleMania is just 2 weeks away, and despite this combustible promo, WWE is moving forward with the matches planned. Whether the two women will continue interacting on television in the lead-up remains unclear. WWE may keep them apart until the big event to avoid another unscripted meltdown. But make no mistake, this match is still happening, and when the bell rings, both competitors will be expected to deliver. There's a lot at stake here, not just the women's championship, but also the reputations of both Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Flair is no stranger to controversial segments. She's had many over the years that tested the boundaries of kayfabe and real life. But Tiffany, still relatively new to the main roster spotlight, may have found herself in over her head in this one. The challenge for both women now is to get the focus back on their in-ring work and off the drama that unfolded last Friday. Could WWE punish either woman for the promo? It's possible, but it seems unlikely they'll jeopardize a marquee match at their biggest show of the year. More likely, if there is any discipline, it'll come quietly and behind the scenes. WWE knows how to protect its image, and right now, they're focused on WrestleMania and the massive spotlight that comes with it. Meanwhile, in a totally different part of the WrestleMania build, Cody Rhodes has been making headlines once again. After finishing his story against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, fans speculated that Cody might pivot to a dream match against The Rock at WrestleMania 41, but that speculation has been put to bed, at least for now. According to multiple reports, The Rock will not be competing at this year's WrestleMania. Instead, Cody Rhodes is now set to face the Elimination Chamber winner and recently turned heel, John Cena. The Rhodes vs. Cena program has had its moments, but one major critique among fans and analysts alike is the absence of The Rock from the narrative. After being so heavily involved in the lead-up to last year's WrestleMania, his sudden disappearance has been jarring. Still, Cody isn't shutting the door on a future showdown. Appearing on the Pardon My Take podcast, Cody said he believes The Rock still has 2 more matches left in him. One of them, of course, is against Cody himself. The other? A long-awaited showdown with Roman Reigns, a match many fans once believed would headline WrestleMania before Cody's story took precedence. Cody admitted he's a little bit egocentric and wants his win back against The Rock. He called The Rock the final boss, but emphasized that The Rock still has that spark, that natural charisma and energy that only comes from being a lifelong wrestler. Cody said that no matter what blockbuster movie The Rock is coming off of, the moment he steps into the ring or cuts a promo, it's clear, the man is a wrestler at heart. Whether those matches ever happen is anyone's guess. The Rock's schedule is infamously packed. Between movies, business ventures, and his increasing presence in the world of sports entertainment through TKO and WWE's creative direction, finding the time and the right moment is difficult, but Cody is hopeful, and he's not the only one. Many fans still want to see Cody versus Rock, and even more still dream of that elusive Rock versus Roman Reigns showdown that WWE once teased but never delivered. That brings us to another major WrestleMania development, the unfortunate absence of Kevin Owens. On this same episode of SmackDown, Owens revealed that he's been dealing with a neck injury that will require surgery, ruling him out of WrestleMania entirely. The news hit hard, especially because Owens had been expected to face Randy Orton in a high-profile match. In an interview, Owens opened up about the injury and how it happened. According to him, it wasn't a hardcore match or any high-risk maneuver. Instead, it was just two small moves during a regular match in January that jarred his neck. At the time, he didn't think anything of it. He'd even had a full-body MRI in December that didn't reveal anything serious, just the usual wear and tear that comes with wrestling for decades. But things worsened over time. Owens wrestled two SmackDown matches, one against Jimmy Uso and another against Rey Mysterio, on January 17th and 24th. Then he worked the brutal Royal Rumble match and later wrestled Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned bout at Elimination Chamber. Somewhere in that stretch, the damage became too much to ignore. What made the situation worse, according to Owens, was how the news broke. He was upset that reports of his injury and removal from WrestleMania came out before he could announce it himself. On Friday morning, several outlets began reporting that a match at WrestleMania was in jeopardy. Though they didn't initially name names, speculation soon turned to Kevin. By mid-morning, his injury was out there for everyone to see, and the official confirmation came hours later on SmackDown. Owens expressed disappointment that he didn't get to break the news in his own words. As a performer who's always been open with fans and candid in his interviews, this was clearly something he had hoped to share on his terms. It's a tough situation, one that many wrestling reporters understand, even if they also have a job to do. As Owens prepares for surgery and recovery, there's a lot of respect being shown his way. His run this past year has been nothing short of spectacular, and his absence will leave a noticeable void. But knowing Owens, he'll be back, and when he returns, it's going to be a big moment. So to recap, Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton's promo went completely off the rails. WWE management isn't thrilled, but the match at WrestleMania is still on. Cody Rhodes is locked in with John Cena for now, but he's still dreaming of that match with The Rock. And Kevin Owens, sadly, is off the card due to injury, a reminder of how unpredictable and punishing the wrestling world can be. WrestleMania 41 is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable in recent years. Whether it's personal feuds spilling into the ring, dream matches that never were, or heartbreaking injuries taking fan favorites out of the equation, it's a reminder of why people tune in every year. The chaos, the drama, the spectacle, it's all there. And no matter what, the show will go on.